up, y'all? It's your boy, the one and only A Switch, aka the Tank Top Titan, aka the Subaru Savior, aka the Nicolette Master. Bringing you yet another episode of Switch Your Sights. Man, to say this week has been crazy is a pure understatement. It really is. So I'm at least not one to really talk about current events as much than I guess say maybe other people, but I definitely like to address specifically very understandably justified straight up murder of George Floyd. I got around to actually seeing the whole video, which, boy, man, it is just infuriating, man. I ain't gonna lie, I broke down a little bit. Just the pure, I can't even describe it, like the pure I cannot even really explain it. Just the pure, just how he's able to get away with doing something like that, and just the sadistic enjoyment he got out of it, and just very infuriating. Yeah, man, if you want to get angry, that's definitely a way to do so. So but yeah, I mean, obviously something like that's been happening for like the 100th, who knows how many other times that haven't been actually recorded, of these corrupt, crooked police officers getting away with like straight up murder. It's disappointing. It's infuriating. It's freaking. It really makes you feel some type of way, and even with that fact that just even anybody of color, include myself, I could just be minding my business, trying not to do any harm to anybody, and just get innocently, just killed just because of who I am as a person. It's just a frequent reminder, especially in the current crazy times. We're still in a pandemic. It's all bad, man. It really is. But definitely justice for George Floyd, because yeah, man, that's straight up murder, recorded, full high definition, in terms of what was done, man. It's just not right. And of course, all the other people that have passed, just to name a few: Trayvon Martin, Marbury, and it definitely got to me, for real, because it's real, man. It's real, man. Just the fact that you don't mean any harm, and you could just be killed just like that, just because some AK member disguised as a police officer, presenting a facade of justice and doing right by the justice system, getting away with murder, man. Really hope justice gets his ass in terms of the judicial system, which, boy, seeing some of the news and stuff that was coming out, just freaking real infuriating. Really is. But at least with all this craziness, at least for myself, and hopefully maybe for fellow listeners, watchers, try to bring some levity out of all of this because shit is getting real, man. It's getting real. I mean, it was real before, but just frequent reminders. Hey, this is real. Is very, very much there and apparent. So at least I want to speak in terms specifically the the looting and the riots, specifically on my end, is totally justified. I understand it. Sure, people can argue and say, "Hey, it's not good. It's what justification are they going to do that for? Or whatever. Like, why are you going to innocent companies and yada yada yada?" But I mean, people are angry and very upset over an innocent black man getting killed, not showing any evidence of resisting, but even on top of that, dude getting his neck sat on for like 9 minutes, not even letting up, and then you see the dude just sadistically, like, freaking enjoying it, choking the dude out. I totally understand it. So, and the most upsetting part too, at least is for some people, is just the fact that people are straight up, more concerned about the stores than the actual this innocent black man that's just getting killed, got straight murdered in front of everybody. It's very upsetting, really is. It's the climate we living in, man. Racism is still alive and strong, and it's very unfortunate. But either way, that's I mean, it started on a hard note, but that had to address that because it's real. It's real and valid, you know. Really is. Uh, Either way, um, let's stop the dilly dallying and get into this news to try to bring some levity to this craziness, get my mind off stuff. To be honest, first topic of discussion: the Xbox Series X. So I think we kind of knew a little bit about this before, in terms of back, I want to say maybe a month or two ago, in terms of the announcement that basically just through some weird voodoo magic that backwards compatible games, or even I guess older games like 360, I think potentially original Xbox, you of course can play on your Xbox One X currently with, depending on the game, boosted resolution and frame rate in some cases. But I think now we know that specifically with HDR, which is still, it's kind of crazy to wrap my head around, that some games can actually support I guess retroactive HDR, or basically backwards compatible HDR, if that makes sense. So essentially, I believe through some AI trickery and other variables, in essence, you could, or at least up to the developers of maybe the previous games, and I think probably partially on Xbox as well, can make games that aren't HDR actually HDR, in terms of, boosting the light levels and giving color more pop, in terms of, the main points of HDR. And at least seeing some of it in action, it's pretty crazy how they can do it, but it seems legit. but I mean, ultimately, we'll have to wait and see until we get our hands on Xbox One Series X. But just the thought of that alone is pretty damn awesome. I'm looking at some of it on the Xbox website specifically. I think I'll just quote this paragraph. The team was not content on just not content to just rely on the increased hardware performance to improve your playing experience. The team developed new platform level capabilities to ensure all of your games continue to get even better. In partnership with the Xbox Advanced Technology Group, Xbox Series X delivers a new innovative HDR reconstruction technique which enables the platform to automatically add HDR support to games. As this technique is handled by the platform itself, it allows us to enable HDR with zero impact to the game's performance, and we can also apply it to the Xbox 360 and original Xbox titles developed almost 20 years ago, well before the existence of HDR. That is crazy. That just to be able to retroactively add HDR and have it make sense is pretty surreal. If it actually delivers on the promise, but at least based on some of like the demo footage and stuff like that, it seems pretty dope. Very curious to see it play out in like fruition for sure. Wow. Retroactively implement HDR. At least at the surface, it seems very complicated to even like get that in there, but at least from stuff I've seen and how they at least their intent, it's gonna be crazy if it actually delivers. Definitely be one big selling point for Xbox to really put it in there, make that HDR, make it pop, but in this case pop in colors and other things instead of pop in like I'm not sure where I was going with that. I guess I was thinking of Xbox as a woman and a woman will pop, but that doesn't really add up. So moving on. And next gen console related news as well. So the man, the myth, the legend in the video game journalism realm, Jason Schreier, apparently has a scoop that the PS5 reveal event is going to be next week, Wednesday, June 3rd to be exact. So I think there's been actually a lot of other rumors around this in terms of like game reveals and stuff like that, which I think we'll technically get onto a little bit later. But yeah, apparently there's gonna be a PlayStation 5 game reveal event. And I guess that's the part I'm curious about in terms of specifically the reveal aspect. So like I really hope that we'll finally see what the damn console looks like for sure, outside of all this, fake mock-up images and stuff. I'm very curious to see what it does actually look like aside from the controller, which, of course can give you like a hint of what it may look like, but yeah. So yeah, I really want to know. Really got to know. Yeah, I'm gonna be very disappointed if we do not get to see what the actual console looks like next week. That's just gonna be super bummer, man. I really think they will. They've been dick teasing for I don't know how long. It's time, Sony. It's time. Okay, it's time. All right, Xbox is making it look real weird right now, just to say the least. So come on, Sony, don't do this. Don't do it. But yeah, I guess it would kind of make sense since technically next week would be hypothetically when E3 generally starts up anyway. So I really think, yeah, they have to at this point, because just showing just games and not the actual console yet again after all this time has passed and events have passed, just I think they would be doing a very bad job of that. They have to at some point. We know it exists, and for them to not show anything so far, what especially uh if it's gonna be releasing in November, or which is generally based off our past history, has always been the time frame it would normally drop. So yeah, June, July, August, September, October, November. Yeah, that's like what, 7 months. Wait a minute. Let me save myself. June, July, August, September, October, November. 6. All right. It's off by 1. All right. I'm not the best at math. Okay. All right. Thank you. I corrected myself. Okay. You're welcome. So yeah, 6 months has got to be next week for sure. They got to start building up the marketing, getting people warmed up to the form factor. Yeah. Hex no. Stop it. So yeah. Cool. Sticking with PS5 or PlayStation in general, more so. Boy, that Last of Us State of Play, which premiered yesterday. Basically, we got a pretty good in-depth look at pretty much all of the Last of Us. Well, at least what Naughty Dog wanted to show us outside of those leaks that dropped roughly a month, I want to say, from now. So yeah, boy, cannot wait. So I guess I'll just, kind of briefly summarize what was shown in the trailer. So they basically it started off with Neil Druckmann giving a kind of rundown of pretty much, the general story starting out, which is understandable. It wasn't anything like super spoilery or anything like that. It was like, oh, okay, yeah, all right, understandable. So in regards to like the game, it's takes place a couple years after the first one. And then I guess they went to a drastically different area. I think Idaho. I want to say Idaho. I'm probably wrong, but I think Idaho or Wisconsin. I think Wisconsin. But either way, they set up kind of like a reset on life, it seemed like. But then pretty much that's kind of the impression I got, that, going back to the same themes of revenge and things like that they've kind of been instilling in the previous trailers, or the announcement in general. That's kind of impression I got. It was very still interesting that we didn't see Joel as much, which is very I'd say concerning, and very kind of a big room for speculation. I mean, it's maybe they're just doing it intentionally to kind of like, give you a red herring or something like that. But Yeah, it's very weird. I'll just say that he's not in any of the trailers. But then again, it might be a huge spoiler for, you know, however they're trying to present the story anyway. So yeah, so they pretty much generally did that, and then just explaining like some of that enemies that you're gonna come across. I think this is the first time we've actually seen the infected. I don't recall seeing them in any of the previous trailers, at least. But if anything, this is definitely the first time we've seen the infected kind of emphasized, or yeah, I guess more or less emphasized on in terms of how they come into play. One big awesome thing I loved about that actually was towards the end of the first game, they kind of had a little bit of it, but not enough for you to like this is really cool. But they did have the cool I forgot. I feel like there should be a term for this, but basically when your enemy my enemy, what's that term? My enemy is your enemy. My enemy, your enemy is a friend of mine, something like that. Where basically there are situations, at least they showed in the trailer, that if there is I guess fireflies and the other faction, which I can't remember, and then infected, you can actually have them fight amongst each other, which you can only do like once or twice in the first one. But now it seems like it's gonna probably be somewhat more common in the second one, which is great. That's definitely a very welcome improvement to kind of, kind of bring some levity and from a gameplay standpoint, some quick, I guess, equivalent of a turret in every game that like gives you like, oh yeah, this is an empowering moment to play. So that's gonna be cool. At least from what they hinted at, it seems like that's gonna be somewhat more common than what it was in the first one. So I am all for that. Really hope that does fully flesh out like it should. Then after that, I think they definitely gave you a good hint in terms of the stinger about some of the new infected we've not seen before, at least in comparison to the previous game, which is very interesting. But definitely loved it. I some trailers you're very concerned that like is this gonna be real spoilery, like freaking what Final Fantasy, Resident Evil 3, they had like some straight spoilery trailers that I thankfully avoided before playing them. So I was very pleased with the Last of Us trailer from that aspect, not like straight spoiling stuff that you don't really want spoiled before playing the game, even for fans of the game. Which I think Neo probably has a very good knack and sense of, well, I mean, especially considering the leaks already. So that was one awesome aspect too, is that oh man, oh yeah, they he whoever disabled the comments for that trailer, which is very understandable because it would have been spoiler city in them YouTube comments for sure. So yeah, so they basically after that they went deep in depth with I guess a specific gameplay segment in the game, and basically showed some aspects specifically like the stealth aspects, as well as the implementation of dogs, which we did see in the first couple trailers, I think. Straight animal brutality, animal cruelty, where they show Ellie throwing a damn Molotov at the dog, and the guy on that was on him with a leash, and it's like, oh nope, we can't see that. They were very quick to cut away from the dog. I guess more than likely not have PETA up in arms. This is outrage. I've had it. Jim, call them. Call them. All right. They hurt Kibbles too much. Lawsuit. But no. Outside of that, I mean, honestly, more of the same. They did show some cool aspects of, like, you know, being able to actually go prone now, which you definitely weren't able to do in the first one. I guess the scent system, which is, you know, specifically more towards going back to the dogs being implemented. But outside of that, more or less what you know and love with The Last of Us. Probably, maybe, I'm certain, more surprises, stuff there. Of course, the crafting system is back. You know, in terms of making various types of items. And yeah, just the brutality. The brutality is there and in full. Boy, they show one part where, like, Ellie went upside the head of somebody with a 2x4, or I think it was a dirty 2x4 that had like some either nails or sharp ends, and clocked the hell out of whoever that was. She isn't here with us anymore. That's for sure. Man, clocked the hell out of her, man. Knocked out. But pretty much after that, it was more or less the same. Just a specific segment, and then, you know, they gave us some stinger like, I don't know you, or I knew you, or something like that. That basically she was familiar with this person that they just came across, which, at least to us, we don't know who that is until you play June 19th. So I forgot about the one aspect too. Oh man. I was talking about it on Twitter too. Basically that they had a straight up Vita reference. That's messed up, man. Neil need to leave PS Vita alone. Really do. So they I think it actually started with this. So basically, there's a girl playing a Vita. So Ellie came up behind her, questioned her with a knife to her throat, and, you know, she said, blah blah blah, I don't know anything. No, just leave me alone. And then as soon as she you know, let go, she's like, oh no, I'm gonna get you, and then basically stabbed her ass in the throat with a Hotline Miami playing in the background, or playing on the game. At least what a lot of keen-eyed people pointed out. It's hard to get it. I guess you have to have your volume really loud, but it did actually seem like it was Hotline Miami, at least. From what I played, I definitely played and beat that game, but it's very hard to see, but I definitely could see it. Apparently you can hear like the music in full, as well as I know I saw the picture, or, you know, the screen of the PS Vita, but man, that one hurt deep. That cut deep. RIP Vita. All right. Going too soon. Okay. I'm gonna be very mad if this game doesn't have Vita support in terms of remote play with a specific controller scheme that supplements PS Vita, which a lot of games don't, even though, you know, technically you can use remote play for everything, any PS4 game that you're playing, but I don't know about that one. So and then all the jokes, understandably. Neil and Naughty Dog, they knew what they were doing. They I guess Polygon made a article about in Last of Us 2 you kill the last PS Vita player. It's just horrible. It's horrible. I hate it, but I love it at the same time. What else? It was another joke. Oh yeah, somebody on Twitter, presumably everybody else, Sony when people ask about PS Vita. So, man, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Could have been a better send off for Vita, guys. I'm just saying, but like, what message did that send? What message does that send? Kill people who just love their Vita, just love playing on the Vita, you know? Tragic. Tragic, I tell you. As a joke, they should bring The Last of Us to Vita. Just saying. I mean, technically you could if you do the remote play thing, but you know what I mean. Nonetheless, all in all, very good, very tasteful trailer. Didn't spoil anything. I didn't feel spoiled like I didn't want to know that, because it's been some trailers for sure lately that I'm like, didn't really want to know that, but I guess okay, I know that coming in now. But I felt like I got a good gist of what to expect, somewhat, but at the same time not too spoiled. Just getting a brief synopsis of like the plot before starting, but not to the point where like I wish I didn't know that. So very good job, Naughty Dog, Neil Druckmann. I thoroughly enjoyed that trailer. All the more hyped to play when June 19th comes around. So sticking to PS5 exclusive or PS, I don't know, PS5 is kind of coming in the vernacular a lot, but sticking to PS4 news with Street Fighter V. Apparently, well, it was weird. I guess there was an announcement, which, I mean, let's stop that. Everybody, people in the game industry, I mean anywhere really, let's not do announcements for announcements. Some just very like should have been an email type vibes, you know. It's like, what, just got our attention just for this, I guess. Okay, you know, that's just me, I guess. But no, let's end announcements for announcements in 2020. Hopefully if we're alive by then, considering a lot of the drastic stuff has been happening. But I digress. So with Street Fighter having this announcement for announcement, we actually got the announcement. That's still dumb when I think about it. We did actually get the announcement that Street Fighter V will have an additional 5th season with 5 more characters. So this seems to be the penultimate last update, if anything, I would assume. But yeah. So season 5, 5 characters, and that's pretty much all we got. We didn't get any teaser outside of that or nothing. So just let's check here. So yeah, there's a costume contest for people to submit some entries for any of the characters currently in the roster. So after that, yeah, so there's Final Season 5, which will have 5 more characters, but of course they want to do the weird Roman numeral or number thing, but they want to go with Roman numeral. So we're going, yeah, I'm a quote. We know our players are wondering what's next for Street Fighter V. So we have some exciting news to share. Due to the positive reception to Season 4 in Champion Edition, we are planning to do a final Season 5, which will add 5 more characters to the roster, 3 new stages, and 3 new stages are also being planned. That's all for now, but we'll be back later this summer to share more details regarding the new content coming to Street Fighter V. For now, Please continue enjoying everything included in Champion Edition. Stay safe. Thank you again for all the support. So yeah, we at least got a confirmation, but yet nothing definitive. So definitely leads to a lot of speculation of who those 5 characters are going to be. I think if anything, it's got to be something in terms of I don't even know. Don't even know. Champion Edition. I love it. I love it. Yeah, it's hard to guess what could be next. But my guess is definitely, or at least personally, I would want. It would make sense though. I mean, Dudley, he's gotta, I mean, we gotta have the gentleman back, you know? We got to. All right. I would just like to fight like a gentleman. That's maybe what a lot of people want too. You never know. That's at least one character I definitely would. Well, at least I've been saying this since season 1, but maybe this time there might be a chance. Or Capcom could just be like, I don't give a damn about what any of y'all want. Just doing all these completely new characters that is cool. I mean, but I think we got enough new characters that I personally would like more familiar characters, or characters that feel like either it's been a long time since they've been in Street Fighter, or I really like, I guess. But I'm good. I'm good on a new Ryu. I think we got like 3 already, technically. You got Ryu, Evil Ryu, and what was his name? Darn it, doesn't come to me. What is his name? That's true. Yeah, Dragon Ball Z has what? 10 Gokus? Kage. That's who it is. Kage. Yeah. I'm good on that. Yeah, just I'm all for more diversified characters. Just characters that are very different than what we have. Oh yeah. I wouldn't mind him. He'd be cool. The officer from Final Fight, that one dude, that one cop boss, he'd be kind of cool. Yeah, Dudley. If I would guess, I for sure would think Dudley would be in there for sure. At least Balrog needs somebody to fight with equally, somewhat. I feel like, yeah, actually this has kind of been like the Final Fight edition of Street Fighter, if there was one. Yeah, it's a lot of potential to pull from. I would say the one dude from Final Fight 3, the one guy that hasn't been put in the game. Or was it 2? I forgot the one dude with the long flowing hair that you could play as, and the other guy that's in 3 specifically. Wouldn't mind them. I can't think of anybody else that would make sense. I mean, trying to not put my bias in there, but definitely Q. What I would like, even though we kind of got him as a G, but it would be cool having a fully fledged Q. Yeah, yeah, I guess it would only kind of have to be newish characters. Newish or deviations of them. Yeah. That's true. Yeah, some random guards that nobody has no recollection of. Oh, he was in the background in Alpha One. Like, all right, sure. No type of demand for him, but sure, let's drop him in there. So all in all, I hope they do make some smart decisions in terms of the characters, at least that fans want, rather than, just going off the cuff and giving us more of what we don't want, or just reskins, palette swaps of existing people. So yeah, moving on. Boy, so man, I don't think anybody really saw this coming, but damn, Dead by Daylight dropped this trailer Tuesday, that actually has Silent Hill involvement. So we got Heather Mason from Silent Hill 3. We got Pyramid Head from Silent Hill 2, or at least premiered in Silent Hill 2. I think he showed up in other games after the main trilogy or quadrilogy of Silent Hill. And then, but I mean, obviously he's been the most iconic enemy out of Silent Hill overall. But yeah, they are freaking gonna be DLC for Dead by Daylight, man. It's crazy. Crazy. Cool. Thanks for stopping by, man. Appreciate it. So yeah, that is crazy, man. Silent Hill. So that's kind of starting to add more credence to those Silent Hill rumors. Specifically in regards to the reboot. I guess somewhat for the, what was the other rumor? It was a reboot, and then it was another rumor regarding potentially rebooting, not rebooting, but picking back up the Silent Hills project, with the famous PT trailer. So I don't know, man. At least it does show good will that Silent Hill is starting to get involved with games again, and not us having yet another Chinko machine for Silent Hill. Hit the lever, with the Jim Quisition. I watch a little bit of him too. But man, it's gonna be crazy. That's definitely getting me to start playing Dead by Daylight again. Yeah, man. Heather looks good for a character model in, current day. I forgot too that there is another skin for Heather that has her as Lisa Garland from the original Silent Hill. Man, all good. I'm very much for this. Probably one little gripe, if I could have, is that it would have been cool to be Harry Mason or James. Forgot his last name, but James from Silent Hill 2. It's very weird that he isn't included, especially considering the DLC normally has a male or female character in most cases, if they're able to. This definitely would have made sense, but I don't know, maybe they just don't want people to super speculate, or I don't know, go off the cuff. I don't even know, to be honest, but would have been cool. Maybe they're potentially saving it for later in this summer, that maybe they might, well, at least I guess that kind of loops back to some rumors going back towards the PS5 event, game event, that it's more than likely that we're going to get some announcement regarding Silent Hill I guess specifically the reboot, even though it's kind of in the air at the moment. Like, it's been a lot of drama. As you guys may know, I frequent a Reset Air a lot, so I scour the forums there, and at least in regards to the announcement of or the rumors of the next Silent Hill games, that it might it's a little kerfuffle in terms of, like, one source is saying that no, I don't think it's going to come out, and one is saying that it is going to be announced this PS5 event. So it's going to be a put up or shut up moment for sure, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. Definitely. So yeah, man, it's kind of hard to believe it's the first we're seeing of, like, Silent Hill, I guess, being used in game form. It's gonna be cool to see how they both play. Well, I mean, obviously we know how the survivors play. I guess her perks and stuff. And well, yeah, man, it's kind of fascinating to see how they got this to work too. I don't know. It seems like, considering all the stuff that's happened in the past, Silent Hill maybe has been kind of difficult to, at least getting something like this off the ground. With Konami, but it will make sense, especially if they're trying to promote a game, at least in this case, a reboot, if true, to kind of get off the ground. So we'll see. We'll see. Oh yeah, I forgot also Akira Yamaoka, the man who blessed the previous games, the original games at least, with that magnificent soundtrack. I think he made the theme for Dead by Daylight, or the remix theme. I think more or less when you're playing as either, or I guess, yeah, more so when you're playing as Pyramid Head. Since that normally sets up, it's been a minute since I played Dead by Daylight, but normally the theme is dependent on the I forgot what they call the enemies. So there's a survivor, and then what is the term for the, I forgot the term for the enemy, but basically the enemy there. So I don't know, man. It's starting to add a little credence to the rumors. So hopefully we'll find out next week when we get that glorious PS5 announcement. So, yeah. And just weird, like, Fortnite is just taking off news. Boy. So apparently, I guess specifically from Jeff Keighley, Nolan North, solidified actor for doing a lot of stuff, with his premiere movie Tenet, which I think I want to say it's coming out in theaters this Friday or next, or theaters, whatever that means now at this point. But I think after that, potentially, not even potentially, it's kind of solidified, he's gonna release the movie to be played across the whole Fortnite game, which is super weird. So basically, if you have Fortnite, which is free, you'll be able to watch this movie at full length for anybody that wants to watch. I think kind of in the same plane as the Travis Scott Fortnite concert, where basically it's a timed event that you have to see at that particular time. I guess they didn't confirm that, but it seems like that would make the most sense. So yeah, a full length screening. So basically the whole movie you would see through Fortnite, which is weird, man. you could see a full legitimate movie through Fortnite. Something so weird about that. I guess because it's two completely, not completely different, but two different mediums like coming together in a weird way where it doesn't seem like or feel like they're related. Again, I guess I'm not familiar with the movie itself. Maybe it does have a strong connection with video games, but that is like, it's weird. It's weird, man. It's, I guess, hard to fathom just something like this happening. I mean, obviously, we've seen a lot of involvement with, movie premieres and releases like Avengers and John Wick and what else? It was some big movie crossover. Not necessarily big, but decent. Ah, man. It was some other movie that I can't remember, but man, that's just so weird. Weird. But actually, I'm very curious. I think I would just want to watch this just out of pure curiosity to see how it is, especially, missing out on the whole Travis Scott Fortnite concert. So yeah, boy, if you want to, watch Tenet or wait for it, you can just watch it through Fortnite. Don't have to, get the bootleg version. People walking on the screen, but you're not in a theater, but you're watching it from your TV from somebody who recorded it from like a handy cam or something. Have no fear. Fortnite is here. So take that for what you will. I guess sticking in movie news, movie game related news. Apparently Sonic the Hedgehog sequel is confirmed to be in the works, and the director of the first movie, Jeff Fowler, will be directing it again. So nice. So it's cool that we'll actually see Sonic and Tails, see how they play out. I guess somewhat very, very basic, minimal spoilers, but of the first movie, but yeah, that's pretty cool. I did thoroughly enjoy the movie. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what they do with this one. Now that they listen to fan feedback and it actually worked out. And yeah, man, good to see that this movie didn't get ruined like all of the unfortunate ones of the past. Not of their doing, but of, horrible directors that just have no respect for the source material. Which boy, when is that Monster Hunter? When is that horrible Monster Hunter movie coming out? Because man, that's gonna be, it's a train wreck I want to see. I really do. But anyway, good stuff. Good stuff. I think that covers all the news for the week. So next, talk about what I've been up to gaming wise. And yeah, man. I mean, do I need to say Modern Warfare, man? So at least lately, I've been playing with some friends, specifically for the Warzone part, which has actually been pretty fun. I can say, guys, finally, after years and years of not really trying, I guess, since I don't even play Battle Royale like that, but finally got my first chicken dinner. Felt good. Felt good. First chicken dinner in a Fortnite game. Well, not Fortnite, but in a Battle Royale game ever. And it felt great. Felt good. Now I don't feel pressure now that like I've yet to win a Battle Royale game, but now all is good. All is good in the world. All is peaceful. Yes. So yeah, did that. Also played a bit of the multiplayer to get finish out my challenges, which I successfully did. So I don't have to worry about that now. But I do hear that double XP, tier XP, weapon XP is going to be this weekend. So I'm definitely going to capitalize on that because I think I'm at 90 in my battle pass tier. So get that ranked up real quick, fully complete the season before it ends next week, since I believe that's confirmed for the new season 4. So, but all in all, man, still thoroughly enjoying that game. It is great. Yeah, I have to say, it's definitely surpassed Modern Warfare 2 as my favorite Call of Duty of all time. I could definitely confidently say that now. First, I was very uncertain, but man, just how much I am playing it, being encouraged to play other weapons, to rank those up, consistently wanting to play it, like way more than the time frame that I generally tend to fall off on multiplayer games specifically. Bee's knees, man. Bee's knees. After that, I played a bit of Gears Tactics as well. Finally got past the annoying part that made me basically rage quit, put the game on hold for a bit. Yeah, it was just this boss battle. Yeah, that is one big gripe I have with Gears Tactics, at least after playing this and dying multiple times. Just the boss battles are too long and drawn out. I guess to, try to be in sync with the game's I guess format of turn-based action strategy. It's just, yeah, it just felt too drawn out. Having to juggle the boss on top of the enemies that come in, you have to manage that, and then on top of that, you have these I guess danger zones basically where after each turn the boss, at least this boss specifically, it becomes a volatile area that you have to move out of the specific area. But then on top of that, you're juggling, trying to, put yourself in the best position and not get hit by the enemies. And I don't know. I mean, that in of itself is okay, but just the fact that it's so drawn out is my issue and gripe with it. Made the boss much shorter in terms of health, which it just feels drastically long. Especially when you add the turn-based factor, it just makes it really unpleasant and annoying, especially when you get killed or make the wrong decision and one of your unkillable teammates die. You have to freaking literally go back from a checkpoint, but then on the checkpoint, it feels like it's drastically, you lose so much progress from checkpoint to checkpoint. It can be very discouraging. Very testing of the patience as well, in terms of, just wanting to play the game, which I think that's definitely a problem that could have easily been mitigated by just making the boss battle much shorter in terms of just life, essentially. Because yeah, it's been a tad annoying. So I think I'm somewhat close to beating it, I think, but we'll see. I don't know. I'll definitely see it through. I mean, at this point, I got to. Especially, I am actually pretty legitimately interested in the story as well. So, we'll see. But I don't know. On thin ice either way, especially stuff has been pulling, since last time we talked. But yeah. Outside of that, actually went to a friend's house, and boy, unexpectedly played a lot of damn Streets of Rage 4, that's for sure. But it was fun. It was fun. A lot of rage. I guess hence the name. A lot of rage was induced in terms of the game. So I haven't played the patched version or latest patched version, which from last episode or the episode before that, we talked about how the Xbox version, which I was playing, was a build behind the all the other versions, PS4, Switch, and PC. Steam specifically. Xbox Game Pass version is the same as Xbox, but um, yeah. So at least playing on the PS4 was the first time I played the patch version. It seemed like it's some notable differences. I guess specifically the difficulty. I don't know. It feels like it's more challenging now in some aspects. Because at least when I was playing, we were playing 4-player, and I guess maybe it's just the scaling of the players more than the difficulty. But we were consistently trying to play on hard on arcade mode, which is kind of like basically you get only a set amount of lives to play through the whole game, and if you die, you have to restart the whole game. Where yeah, we would get super close, and we would get we would all get killed some way somehow, and then yeah, ultimately not make it. So yeah, ugh, uh, disappointing. I guess it might be more so the character count than the difficulty. But I mean, we were playing on hard and with the 4-player, which I would assume it would even out, but I don't know. It didn't feel like it let up, so we ultimately didn't succeed. Actually, we just ultimately gave up because yeah, we would get close to the end and then just not make it, you know, which happens. It does. Yeah, it was an enlightening experience, humbling experience in terms of just boy, Streets of Rage doesn't play on hard. That's at least one takeaway I did take. So outside of that, it's pretty much all I've been playing gaming wise. I guess we'll talk about somewhat semi media. I did been hearing a lot about Uncut Gems. Didn't see it when it came out in theaters. Just didn't really speak to me. But definitely acknowledge a lot of the hype around it, saying that it's regarded as one of the best movies ever. Oh my God, best movie 2019. I think that's when it came out. But then, yeah, it finally came around to Netflix. I think people said it was out in other countries, but not the US specifically. I think this past weekend it did come out. So I was like, you know what? Been hearing a lot of good stuff about this, so yeah, I'll give it a shot. Let's see what it's all about. Adam Sandler, of all people, having a really good role. Okay, let me try it out. So watched the movie. I think it was like 2.5 hours or so, and yeah, man, I was a bit disappointed. I have to say, a bit disappointed. I think it was just a matter of just the overhypeness of it. If I had lower expectations, I don't think I'd feel the same way. But yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe it's just the genre of the movie. I was kind of talking about this on Twitter, but yeah, I understand the intention and the intention, direction, and symbolism of the movie, but after just all of it together, I don't know. It just didn't. Yeah, I don't know. I think I was just expecting something else. More, I guess. What's the word? More slick and sly. At least that's kind of the initial impression I got. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm not gonna try to. I guess I could. I'm not gonna spoil it, especially for people now that kind of had somewhat of a resurgence. But I know. I guess this director or directors. I think there are two people that they're known for doing a lot of stress-inducing, frantic, I guess, jarred movies where it's like very, pretty much just that. But But I mean that is one aspect, but I don't think that was an aspect to its detriment for me. It didn't feel like it just felt like very stress inducing, like this keeps happening and having to worry about, well, is this gonna pay off for this guy and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's hard to describe. Even now, what, like pretty much a week after, I still don't really get it. I guess I get it, but I don't get it at the same time, if that makes sense. I definitely understand the underlying themes and things like that with it, but I can't even describe it really, at least without spoiling it. But it okay, I think I'll go ahead and spoil it. I'll just, spoilers for Uncut Gems, movie that came out 2019. You had your chance. Spoilers. Uncut Gems. So at least the basic plot of the movie is that you're this guy. I forgot his name. Robert. Darn it. But basically, Adam Sandler's character, he's basically like kind of like a money hungry, greedy, kind of betting man, I guess, if I were to say. But he owns this jewelry store where they kind of sell very suspect, I guess pretty much counterfeit jewelry for the most part. It seems like, at least kind of towards the end, or very suspect jewelry, if anything. Where he has that, but then basically he's gotten himself into deep trouble. Oh, surprise! Where he basically gambled a lot of money and lost in the gambling. So he basically invests a lot in sports betting and things like that. So pretty much the whole movie kind of what's the word? Kind of dissects that, where, basically displays his behavior, or at least what it would be like for somebody with a gambling addiction and how they kind of operate. And you see a lot of the underlying themes kind of complement that. Um, and to not go too much into it, I guess, pretty much towards the final act of the movie, basically Adam gets himself into big trouble again, and now it's like, well, how is he going to get out of this? So now with the money, he actually gets to selling this very famous rock, or very mysterious rock, to Kevin Garnett, his real depiction. He gambles directly on Kevin Garnett in terms of his game. I think his playoff game with not the 76ers. I don't think so. This was back in 2012. So I don't remember who the team he was playing with. But basically it's a high stakes game that he's betting on, with taking yet another risk in an attempt to pay back all of the people that he has put in hot heat collections for not paying them back. So long story short, it pays off. He wins big, the biggest he's ever won. And I guess I didn't mention the fact that they locked him in a damn his jewelry security area, where basically they lock it and you're confined in there, I guess presumably to prevent thwart people trying to steal his jewelry, so they will be locked in. So they were locked in there. He finally, during this whole time of the game, and getting his his girlfriend to put in the money for him. Be it, boy, it's like it's looping to other stuff, but essentially, when he wins and he knows he's won the big money, he's like, oh, okay, yeah, everything's good now. He opens up the door, and then the one guy just shoots him dead in the face, and he's dead. So pretty much, it's like he gets the payoff, and then as well, I guess, kind of a happy ending, depending on how you interpret it, because I guess the same negative loop would keep happening again, where, and this is kind of what the movie kind of wanted to show you, at least I felt that kind of exhibiting the behavior of somebody with a gambling addiction, of trying to get the rush and fulfillment of gambling, or the thrill of gambling, that I can potentially lose this, but I can also potentially win this tenfold. Basically showing that behavior of the loop of, getting this win and get more money, keep wanting to get more money, but there is no, I guess, defined point, or I guess threshold, where it's like, okay, I've got everything I wanted, I'm good. But the fact that he keeps going to try to get more money is at least for me, the impression I got from the movie of, exhibiting gambling behavior or gambling addiction, and him having the biggest win he's ever got in conjunction with him getting killed at that same period, I guess is a sweet end, at least for him. But I don't know. I guess it's just it didn't really resonate with me how I thought it would, in terms, I guess, to just overall out of the movie. But I know a lot of people said that, yeah, it's like very stress inducing, like it's very tense. That like, oh man, is he gonna get this? Oh man, they keep holding him up. What is he gonna do? Type of deal. Which I guess I saw that it wasn't as bothersome as at least what a lot of other people were making it out to be. But yeah, I don't know. I totally understand it, but it just didn't really wow me like I wanted to. I don't know. But Adam Sandler's character was definitely awesome. He was great. Totally believed it. Yeah, he was pretty great. Yeah, it's a shame. I hear he didn't even get nominated for that movie for an Emmy or Oscar. Always forget which one they are. But that's a damn shame, because he definitely did a great job for that role. But yeah, so yeah, Uncut Gems, personally, it was okay. It's a good movie on its own, but yeah, just I think I just was expecting too much from it. I think if I had much lower expectations, I would have enjoyed it more. I guess I thought it was going to be way more smart, if that makes sense. Which, I mean, technically it is, but I thought it was going to be more like maybe Ocean's 11, some type of like Ocean's 11 meets Street Kings, where it's kind of like a very witty, thought out type of thriller. But there's a lot of slyness and ingenuity, in terms of maybe presumably like stealing jewels, or something like that. I don't know. At least that's kind of, at least generally, what I was expecting. But yeah, it was okay. It was okay. Didn't wow me. But yeah. But yeah, outside of that, it's pretty much all been catching up with outside of media and the tubes of you. Wonder if somebody ever refers to YouTube like that. Hey, it's probably some old dude. Let's be honest. Probably some dad with the dad jokes. Hey, Carol, you got some of them? You want to watch some tubes of you, huh? All right. Yeah, no, I don't. I don't now. I don't now. No, thank you. So, yeah. Yeah, all bad. But either way, I think that'll conclude episode 57 of Switches Sites. Um for March. I keep saying March, and I realized post episode last time I said March instead of May. May 28th, 2020. But yeah, outside of that, you can catch me recording this live on Twitch TV / A Switch. I do occasionally play games whenever I'm in the mood for that. In terms of streaming, you can also catch the archived versions of these videos on youtube.com / A Switch, where I also upload some video game content as well. You can also follow me on Twitch TV, not Twitch TV, dummy. Twitter.com at A Switch as well. What else? I think that's it. I always feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh yeah, if you are listening to this on your favorite podcasting platforms, feel free to like, rate, subscribe, any of that good stuff, good or bad. Any feedback is appreciated. Any questions you like to have answered on the show, also feel free to submit them at aswitchtv@gmail.com. I think that does it. But yeah. Boy, this world is getting crazy, man. Till next time, guys. Don't cough. Don't cough. Get your game on. Oh yeah.